Okay, now we will hear from our two coaches who will be playing in the championship game this evening. First, Coach Glenn Farello, Paul VI. Last year, they were 35-3 and state champions. They went through the Washington, D.C. area league undefeated. And what is that, Coach? 21-0. And that's DeMatha, Gonzaga. That's people that in circles recognized as one of the toughest, if not the toughest league in the country. Earlier this year, they knocked off Oak Hill. Oak Hill had a 56-game winning streak, and I think that the older group in the room here remember Oak Hill. They were one of the first ones that got all this started and continue to have an excellent team, but to break that streak at 56 is unbelievable. I know they have a young team this year, but if you've witnessed it, they don't look like a young team. Coach Glenn Farello.
I want to echo the sentiments of all the coaches up here in thanking Mark Fisher for running such a wonderful tournament. It is a first-class operation, and how I found out about it when he called me last year, actually I already knew about it, and from Tony Dorado, our Nike rep, mentioning how great the event is, and as I've been able to tell people that we were coming to this event over the summer and into the fall, how many people on the East Coast, from where we're from, know about the event and are all desperate to want to play in the event. So we as coaches all up here are so appreciative of Mark to invite us. All of you players should be very proud that you get the opportunity to play in this. And for my players, we've talked about it all year. You have to act the right way. You have to make sure you demonstrate that not only can you play on the court, but you're going to represent your school and your community the right way, because that is when you get. That's how you get invited to the best tournaments. There's a couple of things that I want to include. Marty for doing all the work, as Mark we mentioned up here. Marty, you've been working extremely hard all week, and we really appreciate all the work that goes into it. We know what it's like to have assistant coaches make us look good as head coaches, and you've made Mark look really good this week. I'd like to thank our honorary coaches, Bill and Mark. Thanks for coming along on the ride with us this week. It's been enjoyable, and they've been able to share some stories and give us some background for the kids to understand the importance of what we're doing here. And then our bus driver, Tom, who's been very patient with us as we're having to drive all over the place to find the right location. So we'd like to thank everyone associated. Bass Pro. We got a chance to go over to the Bass Pro store the other day and walk around, and the kids were amazed at how big it was and how massive it was. And we're basketball coaches, so we're not exactly outdoorsy at all. You know, there's a reason that we're always in the gym. It's 70 and sunny in the gym at all times, so we're very comfortable in the gym. We were actually talking to our players that, you know, we probably only have one player that could probably handle the outdoors, and that's our freshman, Tyler Scanlon. Tyler could probably enjoyed it the most, and we in our media guide, we ask all the kids different questions, and we asked one of the questions is, what don't maybe something that people don't know about you? And Tyler said, people probably don't know that I'm an avid fisherman. So it's the first time in all 6 history we've ever had a response like that. Paul VI is located in Fairfax, Virginia, and as Mark said, we're part of the Washington Catholic Athletic Conference. And we're very proud to represent the WCAC. A lot of great players that come out of the WCAC over the years we're very proud of one of our alums, Eric Green, who plays at Virginia Tech as a senior there, is leading the NCAA in scoring this year. So it's exciting for us to be able to represent the WCAC. We've had some success over the last couple of years. I'll tell you a real quick story from last year. That was we've tried to arrive on the national scene and try to rise up within our own conference. We had a chance to play Oak Hill last year, as well as this past year, and we were playing them in a championship game last year. And as they announced them, you know, they were the #1 team in the country at the time, Oak Hill, and they were playing against Pius X from Fairfax, Virginia. So I'm really proud of my group of players that they've made our name a little bit more well known over the last couple of years. One of the things that we believe in at PBI is, and our motto is share the game. And we as coaches often talk about wanting to share the ball and making sure the kids understand not to be selfish on the court. We extend it out to include share the game as in making sure that you include everybody. Enjoy the fans, enjoy the community that surrounds you. Appreciate everyone that wants to be part of your basketball family. So we try to share the game with everybody, and one of the compliments that we get a lot is how well our kids pass the ball and how well they support each other. And that's a really important concept for all of us to always remember, and to share the game. And one of the things that we did, and I want to implore all you players to give back. If all of us coaches are former players, and the reason that we all coach is we want to give back to the sport that we love. There are so many things that you can learn from the sport of basketball that applies to life, and that's why we do it. We don't just do it to try to win some games. There's no glory up here as high school basketball coaches. We want you guys, all as young men, to grow up and understand the value of work ethic, the value of discipline, the value of teamwork. So it's really important for us that message is loud and clear. So give back to the game that has given you so much. One of the things that we do every year and has been very involved with, we just this past Saturday, is we ran a Special Olympics clinic. And we had over 100 Special Olympic athletes in our gym. And I would say out of the success that we've had over this stretch in the season, that our best day was last Saturday. And we really enjoyed it. And one of the things I mentioned to my players, and I want to mention to all of you as players, is get involved. Get involved in your communities. Get involved in volunteerism. One of the reasons we do it at Paul VI the way we do it is we don't want our kids just to do it, just while they're in high school. We want this to be a lifelong pursuit. So find whatever it is that you want to give back, because we're so very fortunate to do what we're all able to do. And then finally, from the experience itself here, Springfield, just know that we are so impressed with this tournament. When you get a chance to go to these tournaments, it's so much about the organization, so much about the leadership Mark has demonstrated and has made us all feel very comfortable, but also just how the community supports it, the atmosphere and the environment. That's what we really look for as coaches, and that's why we're so proud to be be able to represent this tournament. And we're excited to have an opportunity to play against Kevin Boyle's team tonight from Mount Vernon. I've known Coach Boyle for a long time, and it's one of my favorite teams that you've ever assembled, and I'm really impressed with how it is that your kids play together and play hard. I'll tell you, I first met Coach Boyle when I was a young head coach. My first year, I was 28 years old, and he runs a position skills camp, and I came up for the weekend to work under him, and I walked away with about 40 pages of notes. And I learned a lot about basketball that week with him, and learned a lot over the last 14, 15 years as I've been a head coach. And the biggest thing maybe I've learned, and I think he's one of the best tacticians, one of the best development coaches in the country. We all appreciate, we get to see that on the floor, but one thing that I do know is, in all these years, is you end up in order to be successful, you have to have great kids. And you have to have great players, and they have to have that great skill, but they have to want to develop. And that's what he always has. His players are great people, and that's what we want to try to impress upon our players, is be great people first, be very, very humble, and be hungry at all times. Thanks again, Mark, for having us, and good luck to all you coaches and players for the rest of the season.